Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the George Baidoo podcast. I'm here Sunday, October 8th, back again. I hope you guys are all doing all right, wherever you guys are at. And I hope you guys had a phenomenal week and phenomenal weekend so far. So, again, like I always say, if you made it to this point, if you woke up today, just know that, hey, you still got work to do and you're not done. So, yeah. What's going on, guys? So today I wanted to talk about just one topic. It's been on my mind heavy, and it's pretty much just I was watching a different podcast this week, and it was actually the Curtis King podcast, and he talked about advice that he would give to his younger self. So today I'm going to take on that same topic. That's going to be the focus of today's episode. Just talking about pretty much the advice that I'll give my younger self and what I've learned so far, especially going into my late 20s and pretty much what I would do differently, graduating high school and starting my early 20s, what I would do and what advice I would give to my younger self. So today I'm just going to list off all the different things that I would tell my younger self and then, dive a little bit deeper into why. And hopefully you guys take value from that and use that to apply to your life in any capacity. So, yeah. So with that being said, let me pull it up right now on my phone. Okay. So, advice that you would give your younger self. I think the first advice I would give myself is that relax and take your time. Let that sink in for a second. Relax and take your time. Man, if I can go back in time and tell myself that, I think things would be a lot more different. Relax, take your time and be patient because, I'm not where I want to be. And obviously I'm working towards getting into a better position for myself in life. But dang, just looking back, I'm 28 now. So looking back to what I was doing at 19, 20, 21, 23, so many different paths I want to go into, so many different areas that I wanted to tap into, so many not detrimental decisions, but just not smart decisions that I made. And when I'm sure we've all heard this from like our parents and pretty much the older generation, and that is, what you do today will affect you later on down the line. And growing up, just like most young folks, especially those who are first generation, like you hear it and then you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then it goes in one ear and then it goes out the other. But man, I'm telling you right now, it's like deja vu. Like what you do, the decisions and actions that you do today will literally affect you later on down the line. And trust me, it can't, it is not a lie. Looking back, I'm like, man, if I had taken my time to do this, what if? And yeah, it's not good to dwell on the past. It's always good to keep improving and keep getting better. But dang, just thinking about that, relax and take your time. Like you have time. Where are you rushing to? Whether it be a career, a job, relationship, anything you can possibly name. Like, where are you rushing to? Like, dude, calm your blank down and relax. You got time. Go with what your heart tells you to do. Not gonna lie to you, like, just like most kids, coming out of high school, you're told constantly, yeah, you got to do this to go to college. You got to do that to go to college. And I fell into it. If you don't go to college, you're wasting your life. You don't go to college, you're not going to be successful. That's the one that, whoo, if you don't go to college, you won't be successful. I can't, if I've had $1 for every single time I was told that in some shape or form, I would be a millionaire by now. From parents to uh, other family members and so on and so forth. Like, everybody trying to tell you what to do. Most of these people haven't done what they're telling you to do, if that makes sense. That's nothing irritates me more than someone telling you to do something that they haven't done themselves. It's like, fam, what are you doing? But yeah, relax and take your time. Like, that's something that, it's just a life lesson in general. Like, something that I feel like everyone should hold to themselves and strive to just implement. It's harder, easier said than done, but it's just something that is just you have to do. You can't go 100 miles into something, whether it be thought or action, and expect it to come out and produce the results that you want. And yeah, I think that, if I had relaxed and took my time with, finishing high school and just really planning out what I want to do in my life, as opposed to, to a certain extent, following the crowd or following what your parents want, and not really knowing what you wanted to do, it's detrimental. Like, even now, yeah, I started graduating. I graduated college last fall, to be exact. And I'm on a different path. I'm not even following my degree path, because I ultimately realized that this is not my true passion. You know, yeah, I'm taking a risk by changing and doing something else, but it's my life. I'm still young, and I want to live a life of prosperity in multiple ways, not just income, but just enjoying my life overall as a person. And you know, if only I had, if only I had that mindset, growing up, things could have been much better. But yeah, all in all, that's what it is. Relax and take your time. Honestly, for me personally, if I had taken more time to take a step back, and before I'm making, lifelong decisions, I believe that I would be in a better spot. It's not too late. Like I said, I'm still young, and I'm correcting those things. But yeah, that first advice of relaxing and taking my time, that would have gone a long way. So I hope that I put that message out there for you guys. Relax, take your time, and just understand that you have time. It's not good to waste your time, but you have time. So that's the first advice. The second advice that I'll give myself is start investing early. Start investing early. Invest your time in skills, whether it be a trade, invest in terms of stocks, finance. I'm big on that. If I had started investing early, oh my goodness. Yeah. Start investing early. If I had started investing early into stocks from like 1920 up until today at 28, man, man. For those of you guys that don't know, like, I'm big on investing, you know, being financially literate. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. Those guys are changing lives, and I'm fully tapped in with everything that they do. along with doing my own research, of course. But no, financial literacy, financial freedom is one of my goals, and the only way to get there is through financial literacy, proper financial education, proper financial education. A lot of us growing up, we didn't get that knowledge from our parents. They either didn't know better or they didn't pass good information down to us. And naturally, as the next generation, we tend to take on those habits. And a lot of us were starting to realize, oh, wait, no, you have to be financially disciplined, financially literate, financially educated to make, right decisions, because no one's responsible for your financial situation. I heard this from Ernie Leisure, and it was from Ian Dunlap, and he said, no one's responsible for making you rich. No one's responsible for making you free. It's on you. No one's responsible for making you free. Like, yo, that is something that, excuse me, that is something that hit home for me. And I'm sure it did for a lot of people. But man, if you do not learn to invest at some point in life, it's going to come back full circle and bite you in the butt. Especially when you're older and life is, taking its toll on you, and you have a family and you're constantly stressing about money and taxes and this, that, and the fourth. Yeah, it's a pretty sad thing, and you've seen that across, America and around the world. Like, a lot of people, a lot of their number one problem is finance and access. And I feel like if I had started investing early, or at least received the education, the drive to do that, hey, things could have been a lot better. I mean, I'm doing fine by now, but diving into financial literacy and educating myself the best way I can over these last few years, 2 to 3 years, is definitely life changing. And you know, it's something that I feel like, yeah, just is very important. So that's the second advice I would give to myself: start investing early, and invest in your skills, not just college, but acquiring skills along the way, and invest early financially. Learn about stocks. Learn about setting up a trust. But a trust is different. You need a lot of money for that. But you get what I'm saying. Start investing in proper education, real education, skilled education, skill set accumulation, and start investing into the stock market early, because that is the number one way, the number one route for financial freedom. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not a financial expert, but the research shows that one of the easiest, not easiest, but one of the most accessible way to build wealth is through proper investing. I'm not telling people what to invest in because I'm not a financial advisor, but go do your research. Study shows investing your money into assets, things that grow over time, 9 times out of 10 will lead to, a better financial situation for you and your family over a long period of time. So start investing early. That's the second advice. The first advice, again, is relax and take your time. Relax and take your time and start investing early. And these two topics, these two advice leads to my third and final advice. And I believe I just touched on it like a while ago. Learn a trade before potentially going to college. I'm going to repeat that. learn a trade before potentially going to college. A trade could be, um, getting hands on and learning how to become a plumber, a welder, electrician. Um, what else? Learning how to code, um, carpentry. These are things that people don't normally tend to think of in this day and age in terms of education, right? It's not college, it's not the traditional, 4-year institution, that type of setup, because that's just how society has kind of, in a way, manipulated our viewpoints when it comes to education. But go look at those few things, few trades that I just mentioned. They're one of the most essential things that we need in the world, not just American society, but just in general. Think about it. There are cars everywhere. Almost everybody that you know has a car. That car, from time to time, needs to be serviced. Who do you go to get your car serviced? Mechanics. When you need it, when you have an issue with your brakes. If you ever had a car and had to pay for brake service, you know how expensive that is. Who's going to fix that? Mechanic. And who can become a mechanic? People with the right skill set. People who are licensed mechanics. People who understand cars, parts, engines, things of that nature. You need proper education with hands-on to survive in that profession. And a lot of those mechanics make good money. If you ever had an issue with a faucet, plumbers are very expensive and they make a whole lot of money without having to go to school, a 4-year school, and not just potentially take out student loans. Most college students have a great amount of student debt, including myself. But when they come out of college, not only do they have that debt, but they don't have a certificate or something that they're remarkably skilled at to go out into the real world and compete. A lot of young students are coming out. They have a 4-year degree from such and such school, but they don't have a legitimate skill that would allow them to be employed right away. Most people, it takes them, them knowing someone to even get an interview. Some of the richest people, wealthy, successful people in the world don't have degrees. From all those different trade routes that I mentioned to, entrepreneurs. And, but most of the people who I know who have the degrees and who happen to be working with their degrees aren't making the type of money that they want to make. Yeah, they're working, but they're just making enough to get by. And I feel like going into the future, the way the education system is currently set up, things are going to drastically change because now you can go online to YouTube, Coursera, Udemy, what else? Masterclass, Skillshare. I'm sure there's others out there that I didn't mention, and learn and get educated from your phone, from your iPad, from your computer. For a few hours a day, you can learn and become educated and accumulate a skill set with just a matter of hours without having to spend thousands of dollars and be thousands of dollars in debt. Technology has revolutionized a lot of things. And yeah, I'm optimistic about how the future is going to look in terms of education. But I know one day when I have my own future family, I'm definitely going to be uh, hardcore, like on my kids about skill sets. And I know the things I'm doing right now, even the things that I'm learning, like as I go, I know that one day the future generation is going to benefit from my my ongoing skill set accumulation. So I encourage anybody out there, young and old, to definitely look at themselves, look at their current situation, and ask themselves, hey, am I getting better every day as a person, first and foremost? And two, am I constantly upscaling and adding more skill set to my arsenal so that in the event of any changes in the world, I can quickly pivot and have um, more opportunities, more options. And that is why I feel like learning a trade is important, because if you learn a specific trade or trades, you never have to worry about not having a job. You would always have at least an opportunity somewhere, and it will give you options to pivot, move, and not have to feel like you're being held hostage by your job or your debt. And I feel like in this day and age, a lot of my fellow young folks are deficient in skill set. We know how to use our phones as far as technology, but a lot of us don't know how to use it in a way that's productive and effective in terms of um, allowing us to have that mindset to add more sources of revenue. So, and it boils down to education, and that's a whole nother a whole nother beast in itself. So maybe one day I'll talk about that on the podcast. But yeah, as far as that being said, those are my advice. Again, I have 3 of them. The first one is relax and take your time. That's number 1. 2, start investing early. That is education, proper education that you can actually use. And the second part to that is start investing early in terms of finances. So start investing early in the stock market and continue to do research. The earlier you start investing in those things, the easier I believe your life will be later on down the line. It's not guaranteed, but it's better than, not diversifying your skill set and assets. So again, the second one, start investing early. And the third and final advice that I would give my younger self is learn a trade before potentially going to college. Learn a trade before potentially going to college. Because I personally believe from my ongoing experience that skills are better than degrees. Again, I'm going to say this again. For my own personal, only me, my personal ongoing experience is that skills are better than degrees. I know that might be a controversy for someone. I'm willing to have that talk with someone when that time comes. But I'm telling you from my own experience, skills are better than degrees. Period. So, yeah. With that being said, guys, I think that's a wrap for this episode for this week. And yeah, that's the topic for today. Advice I don't give my younger self. I hope you guys took some value from this. I hope this maybe at least got you to think about yourself or someone that you know, or even your own future. And yeah, I hope that you guys took value from it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I really love doing this, and yeah. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys for stopping by for another episode of the George Baidoo podcast. Again, if you guys are on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you guys are listening to the audio version of this, whether that be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Apple, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcast from, I know that my podcast is on there. So if you guys can leave a rating, like, let me know what you like or don't like about the podcast. And yeah, I'll sure to get back to you or change things up. So with that being said, guys, have a blessed day and stay positive. All right. Peace.